Yeah, but over here on Instagram,
Well,
so you guys are going to have to be
Marcia.
like, you guys are going to have to be
we're
something
live.
heavy.
Everybody's going to be here just talking.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do...
Well, that's okay.
It's just what happens when there's 3 of us.
Too many people in this room.
Too many chicks in the
In the hen house.
In the hen house.
Too many
What is
chicks
that called when
Yeah,
there's...
squeeze in, y'all.
So that means
Marcia, you got to squeeze.
Yeah, they can't see you.
they can see Misty K.
Yeah, they can see Misty K. Trust me, they can see Misty K. Hi, Holly. Hi, everybody. Hi, Kathy.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, Chatty Patty. Y'all better watch out. I got my contacts in today.
You
I can see everything
oh my
that's
goodness.
happening on the
You can
Instagram.
see. That is
I need
impressive.
to improve my posture.
I know.
Oh, I forgot to go live
You
on the
forgot to
TikTok.
go live on TikTok. Oh my gosh.
On the Tickety Talk.
After making such a big deal.
Hi, Hester. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Kim. Sonia Frog Hop. Hello, friends.
Hello, hello. It's Wednesday. And it's the first Wednesday of 2024 for us Way Chicks.
Yeah.
So, you know,
For everybody.
for everybody. Yeah.
Not
but,
just us.
But,
for
you know,
everybody.
us, though.
Oh, goodness. I'm not used to sitting on this side. I feel weird.
And I feel a little bit short in here right now.
Well, because we're on stools and not the
It's-
normal chairs.
I know. So the whole thing is just kind of like a little bit different. So,
Mm-hmm. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Kathy. Hi,
Hi,
Martha.
Annette.
Hi, Net.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good to see everybody.
it really is. So
It just seems like it's been a long holiday season.
Yeah.
too long, I feel like, for me. I mean, I know other people have really enjoyed it, but for me, I was like, so
have you
happy
put up
for it to
your
be over.
Christmas tree yet?
no,
Misty?
because I'm waiting for the chair to come.
I didn't put a tree up.
But I thought you had a little tree.
I need to lower that. See how it's in the camera shot over Marcia.
What is
Keri,
it?
you have the longest arms. Can
What do you want me to do?
Lower
Lower this?
It says Keri is wearing, yes, it says Keri's wearing Brianna. It has in white below each of our picture what we're wearing. If you're watching Facebook or YouTube, Keri's wearing Brianna by Envy and Cinnamon Raisin.
Yes. This is my color in that company for sure.
I'm
So-
wearing the Alva by Noriko in Seashell Blonde. This is a Mimi's exclusive color that I think kind of gets forgotten about.
It does.
Because, I mean, blondes in the wintertime, they're always popular, but, you know, I'm like, I gotta put me some blonde on today.
So-
Marcia, what are you wearing?
I have Harper. And it's by Henry Margu in the 626H.
Oh, my favorite, one of my absolute favorite Margu colors.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good
really
one.
pretty color.
The highlighting's pretty. It's very natural looking. I love it.
Well, we have not a lot of time because someone said thank you for the sales. We appreciate you guys so much for supporting us. We definitely didn't anticipate as many orders that came in, and so
We're flooded.
we appreciate your patience with us. So we have
A lot.
a lot to go over in a short amount of time today because we got to get back to doing your orders. So we decided instead of, obviously we can show you wigs all the time, but today we're not. We're going to just talk about some things. What are we going to do?
Oh,
24 things every wig wearer should know in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and some of these things you probably already know. Some of them you might not. It's just kind of good to just go over it and, talk about it with us. Yeah.
Well, it is. And some of them are just like so common sense if you're a wig wearer. But if you're brand new to wigs, this is a new year. Who knows? Somebody might have said, you know what, this year I'm going to get me a wig. I'm going to start out the year right. Or I'm going to start out the year right by getting a wig. But, it makes my life so much easier. But they don't know anything. They're starting at square one. So some of these are just, like I said, very, very common sense things that you would think, why are they even talking about that? But who knows who's going to watch this video, in a week or a year from now and say, I wish I, had someone explain that to me, when I had started, or like I'm brand new on my journey, and so we just decided let's go for it.
Let's start with number 1 because this one, it
Oh,
really
this
gets
irks
me
me.
sometimes, which is don't get caught up in head measurement. Look, I'm going to say this. You can measure your head. In here, we don't necessarily go off that right off the bat. What we do is by a feel kind of thing. Yes, we will talk about our head measurements with you guys so it gives you a good idea when you're placing orders online, kind of how it fits us. But some people get so caught up in it that they're like, I think I need this, and I think I need this, and I need a petite because of this, and they don't. And then it doesn't fit them right.
Right, and I mean, most of the time you're never going to fall on the exact scale of it's like measuring for jeans. You're never going to have a waist, an inseam, and a hip measurement that's going to fall perfectly on a certain size unless, you were created, by a model or what is that called? A robot. So same thing with wigs. So don't get caught up in that. We don't ever measure someone's head.
Because I think sometimes too what people don't realize is that when you so much focus on that really narrows everything, and then they walk through the door and for their appointment and they're like, I measured my head, I'm pretty confident, I'm a petite, and I can look at them and know that they're not right off the bat, and then I'm like, okay, and then they are like so confident that they need that they don't get to look at any of these other styles.
Yeah, and you very well may be a petite or large cap even.
You might.
But if you don't want to limit yourself to that, if you're petite, there are some alterations that can be made. So
definitely.
Don't put yourself in a box from get-go.
Yeah.
So this kind of links to one of the other things we're going to talk about. But like I said, we have 24 things so we need to hit on. So we'll touch these later on in more in depth in a different video.
All right, Marcia, you're up.
So number 2, don't be afraid to try a new style.
Oh yeah.
So simple.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is.
Yeah.
I love it when people are open.
Me too.
Not set on just one thing.
Yeah.
I love it when people are really open to try.
And go ahead.
Well, I feel like it's hard, too, to jump out and try that new thing because I'm that sort of person. I'm like, this is the box I like to stay in. But then when I try those new things, I'm like, oh, look at me. I look good, So it's worth it to try something new.
And I have seen it happen so many times throughout the years where, say someone comes in and they've always had a pixie cut or they've always had long hair and they say, well, I've always wanted to try a bob. Let me try a bob. And they end up trying something different and it ends up being the look that they've wanted to do and never had the courage to do. But once they stepped out and did it, it ended up being their favorite look ever.
Yes.
So it's so important to not box yourself in, and that's why you can take advantage of, like when we had such a good sale over the holidays. That doesn't happen very often, you guys.
Right.
So, but take advantage of that, or
especially when someone can't wear bangs in their own hair because their own hair won't do that. But then
perfect example. I can't wear bangs in my own hair, so I do a lot of wigs with bangs. So try something new. Don't be afraid to try something new.
All right, number 3. You want to read it?
This is actually very important, and it deserves its own show, and we'll do it later. But know the different types of fiber. Don't just jump out and order a wig and then not even know what you're getting. Do your research. Know the different types of fiber. There are 2 types of synthetic fiber. There is a acrylic fiber, which is what we call regular synthetic, and then there's a polyester fiber, which is heat-friendly fibers. They react 2 totally different ways, so make sure you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's for a more in-depth show.
Yeah.
But definitely do your research and know what you're getting.
Because you have to take care of them completely.
Yeah, and we're going
to touch on that.
Yeah, we're going to go into that, which brings us know the fiber of the wig you're getting, which takes us to number 4. Of the important things everybody needs to know.
Which is follow the manufacturer instructions for your wig. And the reason why that is key is that there is a reason. Because if you take a hairbrush to a heat-friendly fiber, for example, it is going to fray that all up.
Yeah, that's down here.
And we will talk about that. But it's like you have to know all of that stuff. And we have people that come in and they're like, oh my goodness, I took a brush to my curly wig and now it's straight and this is defective.
Or frizzy.
No.
Right, and every manufacturer has different instructions for their fiber. So that's why we're saying know the manufacturer instructions for your fiber.
Yeah.
The Ellen Villa Heat Defiant has a different heat point than the Raquel Welch heat-friendly fiber has for theirs versus John Renault versus all that. So just when you get a wig, look at your tag, look at what it says and how to take care of your particular fiber.
Well, because you might have been wearing wigs for years and be like, I'm a pro, like I know what's up. Well, okay, even pros make mistakes. I mean, we know that, right?
Well, we don't, but, you know. others might, but, you know.
But, I mean,
Not
it's one of
us.
those things that it's like you can make the mistake even though you're a longtime wig wearer. So it's just really important to kind of read through
Before
that.
we go on to the next one, someone said that they didn't see the Alva and Seashell Blonde on our site. This is under a Mimi's exclusive, so it's separate. So it's not under the regular Alva. So you just have to go to Alva and the Mimi's exclusive, and it's under there. Okay. So, since we touched on the different fibers, we're going to go to number 6, and Keri.
I already kind of touched on a little bit.
But, well, we'll just.
We're going to dive in.
You didn't touch on. Don't be afraid to brush your regular acrylic wigs, which all of us today are wearing regular acrylic.
Yes.
None of us are wearing the heat-friendly fiber. Take a brush to it. I mean, don't be afraid. If it's curly, you really don't want to do like she said. But if it's regular acrylic, which means it's not heat-friendly, you can brush it, and it's a good idea to brush it and keep it nice and loose. Don't let it get all matted up, and don't be afraid to brush it.
Because I'm going to give an example here. This customer, she has passed years ago, but she would come in and she says, I never brush it, and nobody can tell. I bet you can't even tell I don't brush it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yes, I could
tell.
because it was so clumped together. She's like, I just shake it. We
It
do
looks
say to y'all.
It starts to look like a helmet.
It does start to look like a helmet. It starts to really clump together. And just what I want to tell everybody is, look, if you want it to look natural, you take a brush to it, So
I
Except
kind
the
of got these
curly.
out of order, so let's do that one later. So let's go down, since we're talking about fibers. Let's talk about,
Don't brush heat-friendly fibers.
don't ever. If it's polyester, which you will know on the inside of your back tag, it'll tell you what it is. So if you've lost your regular, hang tag that comes with your new wig, look in the back part of your wig here, and it'll have the manufacturer underneath. It'll tell you 100% acrylic, 100% polyester. So if it's polyester, it's going to be heat friendly, and that's when you don't want to put a brush on it. Always use a wide tooth comb or a pick, because we'll do a whole show on it. But the best example I ever got from one of our reps was, she's like, think of it like curling ribbon. So the more
more it will
tension
split.
you put on it, the more it's going to like make it kind of.
It kind of frays up,
Stretch it
it
and fray
splits, it kind of just looks not great. And
It's
so,
like fried hair.
yeah, it does look like fried hair, so you really just don't want to do that.
And I don't know if we've ever mentioned the next one. Marcia's our resident wig washer around here. She can make a wig cleaner than anybody. I know it.
All right, so don't soak the heat-friendly fibers too long, and that's the truth. So, I mean, you want to leave them in there a little bit, but you don't want to leave them in like.
I leave them in for about 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If you leave them in for too long, if you forget about it, if it's like several hours, you're going to see this like pink hue kind of in the water. And here's the deal, that's kind of like the coloring,
The
just
dyes.
the dyes coming out of it.
That-
And it's not going to look horrible.
Right.
But-
You're not going to be able to tell too much, but that repeatedly done every time you wash it,
It fades
it's
it.
going to fade it more. And they do kind of have a pinkish hue. I don't know why, but all the colors do. But that won't really happen on your regular acrylic. So if you forget about your regular acrylic, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
I've left mine in there for hours before, but not on the heat friendly.
Overnight, I
Yeah,
forgot, like,
yeah.
overnight, I'm like, whoops.
Well,
but
we get busy in here,
Yes.
and then I'll put something in first thing in the morning, and then it's like 3 o'clock before I know it, and I had these wigs in there.
yeah.
Now we'll jump back. Let's go to that one.
Okay.
And in fact, because someone Patty just asked on YouTube how to keep the lace from looking so fake.
Don't tug or adjust a wig using the lace front. Oh my gosh. Biggest offenders of people that do that. And
This
it
right here.
tears. And then we get these phone calls, can you fix it? And you know who ends up doing that around here? Me. And
Yeah, I don't have
it's-
the patience. I'm like,
I barely had the patience. And here's the deal. It takes so long. And sometimes we can't fix it. I'm going to be really honest with you. And it's such a disappointment when that happens because you've spent a lot of money on this expensive wig that's got lace and it looks great. And then it's torn.
Yeah, and
So-
I mean, you're making an investment in something. Even if you purchase it on sale, it's still an investment. If you're getting a good quality wig with a good quality lace front, you want to protect that. That's the most fragile part of the whole wig. Okay, so when you're putting it on, don't if you okay, you put it on. Let's say you put it on, you're like, okay, this is down too far. I need to adjust it. Don't do this. You're already putting pressure on
And
lace.
don't
I don't have a lace front on,
Which
I
do. And don't put your finger up underneath here.
don't ever do that. So when you go to do it, put your hands up in here like this.
Grab the hair.
Grab the whole
I usually
hair.
lift mine back up in here. Like, I lift it back up in here and gently. You're not going to try to, like, because we've had them come in and they're completely separated. Because the
Right.
manufacturer will do this kind of, I say odd. I don't know. I do understand when I see it. But here's the lace front, comes on the forehead, and then it's kind of like split right here, and they'll glue it right through here. And it's very, very sturdy. But if you pull on that too hard, it will separate. So,
That's why I do the whole. I literally do
Yeah.
my whole hand, grab a whole handful of hair, and
Yeah.
I can move that all over my head.
Yep.
Just by doing that, and then use my ear tabs here to kind of lift and adjust.
So-
I mean, just that, if you can, I mean, I've worn hair out before, I've worn lace out before, and then, you want that process to happen in that order. You don't want to tear the lace up before you wear your hair out. You want this to be the first thing that wears out.
okay.
All right.
So-
Number 10.
Yes, number
We're
10.
not even halfway there.
Ooh, don't be afraid to try a new color. This is my favorite because people who are so set and always getting the same thing, and if you get the same style and just change color, that just does a world for people.
Yes. And I think sometimes some people just think that a certain color looks too fake on them, that they've been wearing it for so long that basically everybody's going to think it's a wig. And I'm like, whoa, hold up. Guess what? People go to salons and they change their color.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is really easy to do. Stay in your same style. Change the color.
Color is the absolute easiest thing to ever change. Everyone can go to Sally Beauty Supply or to Walgreens for that matter, grab a bottle of color or a box of bleach and change their color in an hour.
Just like that, yeah.
Okay, so don't be afraid of changing color. Like Marcia said, if this is your style, I have this style in several colors because I love this style.
Yeah.
All right? I love it. So I just get it in different colors. That's always been my habit.
That's the easiest
But am I
thing
a
to do.
blonde? Am I ever going to do this with my bio hair? No.
Right.
But do I love myself in blonde? Yeah, I do. And Marcia has, Keri has worn blonde,
Yeah.
she's a natural redhead. Marcia has, your wavy days in that lighter color. I mean, so don't be afraid to try something different.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's
And
fun.
I mean, it's
It's worth
okay if people, this is the thing about wigs. I'm just going to throw this out before we go to number 1. It's okay to let people know you have on a wig. And it's okay, because if they say, are you wearing a wig? Just say, yeah, it saves me a lot of time. You don't have to go into all the reasons why you have a wig on your head.
Yeah.
It's because wigs are so popular now, and I hate to say popular, but they are. I mean, it used to be only people that wore wigs didn't have hair or were sick. Now it's like, it's okay. Just say, yeah, it saves me so much time, or, I didn't want to do this with my natural hair, or I wanted to see what it looked like before I did this to my bio hair, whatever. It's none of their business. Just put it on your head and go. And if you choose to tell them you have a wig on because, you want to, then, it's
I pulled mine
to you.
off right in the middle of the dance
Oh, I
studio.
had to.
And
Do you
people
remember-
were shocked.
the
Do you
line.
remember? Do you remember the night? Like, we have time for this, but do you remember
Right.
the night we all went out to dinner and the lady wanted to try my wig on? The lady that worked at
Yes.
the restaurant. So we went
Yes.
literally went into an empty party room, took my wig off so she could try it on. It was so funny.
And it looked phenomenal on
It
her.
did.
That was
She
good.
had really short pixie cut
Yes.
hair. I think I was wearing my January. But
Yeah.
anyway.
So
It's pretty.
don't be
Okay.
afraid to try a new color.
Number 11.
Oh my goodness. The wig grip. Don't be afraid to try the wig grip.
They work,
It is
y'all.
$20.
Yeah.
It's $20.
And they stay on your head. And
Yank.
even
Just
so,
yank on my hair.
if y'all don't know this, I've got 3 girls. Yeah.
Just yank.
Yank.
I've got 3
And then
girls,
yell.
and my youngest at Halloween, because I've done this for so long that they know how to put on wigs. And she's 10. I just didn't think that she really paid attention to it. But that child came out with her wig on, her wig grip on, and everything, and it was on right. And guess what? It stayed on her head the whole entire night. I've been on the back of a jet ski with it, going 6 miles an hour. The wig does not come off. You wear the wig grip, it stays in place. I promise.
Yeah, and in fact, Peyton did a video. One of her daughters did a video for us where she's like swinging her head around.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, they will stay in place.
They'll stay.
And so, you know what? It's $20. So I always say,
And they're
if you
very
think, oh, my
comfortable,
wig,
too.
I'm
Yeah.
so scared my wig's going to move if I'm out in the wind, or I'm so scared if somebody hugs my neck, or this or that. Oh,
Not
my
with the wig
gosh,
grip.
$20. And I'm not going to say that about every brand that's out there. We will only carry what we know to work. And we've
Yes.
tried other brands. And I'm not saying they may not, work, but what works for us is the Milano. So.
And the wig grip does not slip.
I mean,
so-
literally, I was telling them, you can
Yeah,
yank on
right.
my wig. I always say you could literally probably give someone whiplash. You could yank on their wig so much that it's not going to move.
See, Terry brought up a good point. I got
Yes.
2 Milano wig grips for $20.
Yeah,
during our,
we ha-
yes.
During our sale, we had buy one, get one free.
Mm-hmm. So, we
That
run
was
sales
the
on
12
them.
hours
And
of
even
Christmas.
if your hair is really thin, say you're going through chemo and you didn't lose it all, or if you have alopecia, or whatever, if you just have a little, you don't have to have a full head of hair. And I have one client that's been coming to me for, oh gosh, I've been here almost 15 years, and she's been coming here since before I started. She has complete alopecia, okay? She has no hair. She still wears a wig grip because it's comfortable.
Yeah.
They're very soft. Oh, let me just take.
Oh,
They're
now we're just going for
They're
it.
very soft, and so it provides a barrier if you have any kind of itching or if you're really sensitive on your scalp or anything. So, they're good for many reasons. Plus, if you're all sweaty, it helps if you're going to be out and you're sweaty. It kind of.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So, they're great.
number 12.
Number 12, you can use accessories in your wigs like headbands, clips, etc.
Why didn't I bring my headbands?
I don't know why you
Marcia
didn't.
wears a headband almost every day.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
But people think, oh my gosh, I just can't put anything in my wig. I'm so scared
But we
of it.
do have that one lady that wears a headband in
Every wig, she wears cute little Natalie. You talking about? Yeah, she wears cute little Natalie. She has a headband on with it, and we have people that'll wear clips.
Yeah.
You can put in side ponytails and something that's longer. So don't be afraid to accessorize or play
Don't.
with it.
right.
Little clips. Just makes it cute.
All right, now these next 4 kind of go together, but know your wig caps before you order.
Yeah.
Know what you want. Know what you're getting. So.
I mean,
All right, so define machine made. So that is just, well, no wait, I have lace. Mine's lace, right?
Mine's machine made.
Yes.
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's the machine made. First of all, I guess what I always go with machine made is it's more full.
it's definitely more full. Permatease. Somebody sat down at a sewing machine and just ran it
So
through like
if
this.
you have that sleek style, you probably don't want machine made.
Yeah, you probably don't.
This Alva's not too huge. Machine made's not what it used to be, but this is the most cost effective version because it doesn't have any kind of hand tie top, which we'll get into that in a minute. But I love machine made because I like a little bit more fullness.
Yeah.
So.
See, for me, I kind of like to have monofilament top, which is the next one we're going to talk about. We're going to define that simply because I don't like all the poofiness. I already kind of have a bigger head. And for me personally, when I put on something that is machine made and it's a little bit fuller, I just feel like I've got a really big head. And that's me. I look in the mirror and I see that. And so when we're talking about monofilament tops, hand-tied tops, you're going to see a scalp, and not all of them, though, have lace front. Some of them do, some of them don't. So you need to pay attention to all the details on that, because if you think just because you're getting a hand-tied top that you're also getting a lace front, that's not always the case.
And some will have lace without having a monofilament or hand-tied top.
Yeah.
But let's also talk about just because it is machine made doesn't mean that the hair is less expensive.
Yeah.
We
The
always
hair
get
is
that.
yes.
It's the
Hair
same.
is the
People
same.
are always like, but does that mean that it's lower quality?
No.
It's about the amount of time that they put in making that cap. And
Right.
so that's what you need to know. If it's the next one we're going to talk about is, the partially hand-tied and the hand-tied, fully hand-tied, all of that. It all goes in with that. So basically, if they spend a lot of time fully hand-tied, it's just more expensive.
Yeah, so number 14 was the monofilament top, or some manufacturers call it a hand-tied top. So whenever you see monofilament, I think different companies, they don't always hand tie them, but some companies will literally have someone hand tie each section, little bit of hair. So that, if you see those two things, they're kind of interchangeable, and that's just in one little section.
So because we've talked about fibers and caps, I want to address Marissa on YouTube. I want to address her question really quick. She said, how do you know when it's time to retire a wig? Okay. Because all these things that we just talked about, they all will, sometimes lace will look frayed and it looks fake, or sometimes if you're wearing a heat-friendly fiber and it looks like a big bush, I hate to say it like that, or even just your synthetic fiber, it looks really dried out or dull. Basically, if it just doesn't look like hair. And then I always tell people, if you think that it's not good, it's probably time to get a new one.
I mean, this is awful. I hate to say this, but I mean, if you look in the mirror and you question it,
It's
time.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. Yeah.
it's time.
Yeah, Maxine, you're right. Retire a wig when their job performance sucks.
That's
You're
exactly
right.
right. That's a good way
Yeah.
to answer it.
If you gotta say, does this look good?
then it
It
probably
don't.
doesn't.
Yeah.
And can I just throw this in there? This is so awful of me. I love it when people will donate their gently used wigs, but if it don't look good to you, don't
give it to-
donate it.
Don't
Throw it in the trash.
responsible donating, y'all. Okay, we got to take a pause here for 1 second. We just got to tell everybody on TikTok. They want to know what the blonde wig is called that you're wearing.
This is called Alva. It's by Noriko, and the color is a specially made color for us at Mimi's, and it's called Seashell Blonde R. And you can find that on our website, shopmimisdallas.com.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, where are we at now?
Okay, now we're going to talk about 100% hand-tied or fully hand-tied. That means the whole cap has a hand-tied construction. This is really good for people who have zero hair underneath.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times these caps can be overly stretchy, or a lot of times they don't have much stretch at all because they're made to fit, really in close to your head, like it's, coming from your scalp.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some variations, which we've addressed those lately, about manufacturers saying they're 100% hand-tied, but yet they're really not lately.
Right.
So they're doing some different things on the way they sew them together, but that's neither here nor there. That'll be for another show. But yeah, 100% hand-tied. These are the most expensive caps that they make because of the amount of time they go into.
Maxine has a good point.
Exactly, and I think that we talk about that here in just a minute.
We're going to get to that,
It's
yes.
the next one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
No, it's not
No,
the
it's
next
products.
one. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yes, keep your retired wigs to experiment on. That is an excellent tip, Maxine. Because if you want to experiment on heat styling, anything like that, you don't want to do it on one that you love.
Right.
No,
Exactly.
definitely not. Okay, so number 17 is experiment with products. You can always wash them out.
Yes.
Some people will say, can I use hairspray? I'm scared to use hairspray.
You can use hairspray.
Oh, we spray
What about
a
wig
lot.
wax?
Yeah.
What about gel? What about this? What
I
about
am
that?
a product over user,
Yeah.
period. And I don't mean like when I'm styling out wigs. I just mean like I buy all the products and I will use them. And I'm going to experiment. And don't be afraid. You can wash them out. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Trish, as asking about the blonde wig, I don't know if you just heard it. It's Alva by Noriko. The thing about wig products, like we just said, you just do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
It's never if you're putting something on that's going to sit on top of the wig fiber, it's never going to harm it.
Don't be afraid.
And
And
the only
it's
thing
very
that's ever
easy to get out.
Yeah, the only thing that's ever going to harm it is heat.
Yeah, heat. So
So
that's the number one thing you got to worry about. Okay. Here we go. Number 18. Marcia, you want to take this one?
Learn how to properly store your wig. So I had a lady just call just like a few minutes ago and ask about this. So she was like, I don't wear it very often. I have several, but I just don't wear them that often. What can I do? Like, to keep the dust off of them or whatever. And I'm like, well, if you're not wearing them that often, then just put them in the box.
Yeah.
Because that'll save it. Especially if they're curly, because I think that will save.
And some people don't keep the box, and I get that. I'm one of those people. I actually will turn mine inside out and put them in a drawer. Like, I kind of have a special drawer. I don't have a lot of wigs that I stash at home, but I just do that. So,
Yep.
Someone's asking on Instagram, this is kind of going back to the previous thing, do we recommend the wig wax? Absolutely, we love wig wax. Wig wax is great for shorter wigs, things like that. So we do have a couple of videos where we talk about products, and we'll be doing that in the coming, at the beginning of the year, we kind of like to go over styling and product usage and all that. So in the next few weeks, we'll go over, some how-to videos with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, storing too. Also, traveling. When you travel with your wig, we always suggest put it in your carry-on if you're flying, or if you're putting it in a bag with liquids, put it in a Ziploc or some sort of, waterproof or airtight.
I always put mine in
bag.
a Ziploc bag, inside out, and I usually wear Wavy Day if that's the one that I take on trips with me. And so it's, I put it in a Ziploc bag and I turn it inside out, and then I just put it in my suitcase and go.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Dorothy's asking where can they buy these wigs on TikTok?
ShopMimi'sDallas.com. That's
Absolutely.
our website. So ShopMimi'sDallas.com, and you can see all the wigs that we're wearing in our whole inventory. So.
Let me address this one quick question on YouTube. Abigail is asking, does wig wax help with forehead itching? No, wig wax is a styling product for the hair. It doesn't have anything to do with forehead itching. If you're itching on your forehead, you might want to try a wig grip to create a barrier. Or, use some hairspray or something if it's the hair to pull it out away where it's not touching your forehead.
Mine only itches, I'm going to say this, mine only itches when I'm wearing lace. So like right now, because I've moved this around before I got in here, it itches. And so I personally, this is a personal thing, I like to use glue on mine when I'm wearing lace, because for me, I have sensitive skin and it starts to itch. When I am wearing machine made and they don't have lace, I'm absolutely fine. For me, it's only when I have lace.
And I also think if your hair, if you have hair and your hair is really clean, I think that causes it to itch.
I don't like to wear a wig on my freshly shampooed hair.
Oh, I love it when I'm wearing dirty hair.
Me too,
yes.
Because when you shampoo your hair, you're really stripping your scalp of all the natural oils. Mm-hmm. So it's already kind of a little bit on the dry side. So I feel like when I put a wig on that, it makes it itch more. So I liked, if I'm going to put a wig on my freshly shampooed hair, I'll spray my scalp with a lot of dry shampoo and kind of dirty it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Abigail, I think the best thing to do is probably just give us a call and we can just troubleshoot some tips with you over the phone, just because I don't really understand how the band makes it look fake, but I think once we have a phone
unless you're wearing it down too far.
Yeah. But if we have a phone conversation, I think that maybe we can work through some of these things and talk about it.
All right, where are we at? Number 19. I love this one. I love this.
This is a good one.
I made a meme one time out of a customer's wig that they brought in, which at first they said they didn't cut their own bangs, but then they admitted they did.
Yeah, because it was obvious.
Don't cut your own wig unless you're willing to ruin it, okay? Mm-hmm. It's not as easy as you think it might be, okay? Yeah. A lot of times it is. I mean, I see pictures in our VIP group all the time that look absolutely phenomenal, and I'm like, you know what? You don't have to be. I mean, we have a lot of experience, but we didn't have special training in wigs. We're licensed stylists, and we all did hair in salons before we came to work at Mimi's, but we didn't have any special training for wigs. Mm-hmm. So what we know, we've learned by experience and just by doing it so much.
Yes.
But yeah, if you want to cut a wig, but just don't cut your favorite.
Right. And then let's go back to what Maxine was saying, which is hang on to your old ones that aren't great so that you can practice that stuff if you want to start cutting on your wig.
Mostly because the wigs don't reform.
They don't reform.
They don't.
So that's where you're...
And sometimes the way they're even sewn in, it's just...
Okay, when Marcia just said that, a lot of people may not understand what we're talking about when we said the wigs don't reform. Take this curl, for example, which is hard to see on... Okay, take that curl, for example. You come in here and you say, okay, I'm going to cut 4 inches off this wig. You come in and cut it right here. You're cutting the entire curl off. It's not like a natural, head of hair where you just wet it and that curl just is a shorter curl. It's gone.
Yeah.
You completely cut it off. So you have to keep that in mind with, say, even with my wig and Marcia's wig, this is made to be like this. So if you come in here and say, well, I really want this wig that's, 2 inches shorter, you're not going to have that same curve to it.
And a lot of people go at it and they just instantly go like this, whip.
Yeah.
And it's so blunt. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Even someone saying, if for amateurs I use thinning shears, you can use thinning shears and that's always safer, but you don't even want to start, you just want to practice on something that's older. Mm-hmm. And if you can get your wigs to a wig stylist, that's always best.
Because I'm going to let you know, you can still mess up a wig with thinning shears. If it cuts it, you can still mess it up if you're not paying attention and if you don't know what you're doing. So hang on to a wig and practice.
Between us three, oh my goodness, we have... going on, I hate to say this, it makes it sound old, over 45 years. Well,
oh my goodness.
About almost 45 years of experience between the three of us. Because we're so young.
Yeah.
But we've all been here,
whatever,
over 13, 14, 15 years. And so we still will practice. We keep a box of wigs back there that are either discontinued or, donations from people who don't want them anymore, that are not, maybe the lace is torn so bad we can't donate it to, for someone who has cancer, that we will experiment on.
Because when we talk about experimenting, it's not so much the cutting aspect of it, but it's like the cutting and then reforming the shape on a regular synthetic fiber that you cannot necessarily really put heat on. Like, you can't put a curling iron on it, So we do lots of experiments. So.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we gotta hurry.
Yeah, we do. We gotta hurry. All right, where were we at? I don't even remember.
Number 20.
Number 20, yeah.
Count the cost of wig versus trips to your hairstylist.
Yeah.
I think this is where people really, really have a hang up.
They do, for sure.
But then you get those people that go, well, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is what it would cost me to go get my hair done twice.
Well, I hate, and I'm never going to tell someone how to spend their own money, okay? I am the worst possible salesperson ever, because I will talk someone out of buying something.
Me too.
9 times out of 10 before I think I'm going to sway them to buy something. I'm not that kind of person. But I hate when I hear a woman come in and her say, well, I can only buy, or I'm only going to buy 1 wig a year, or I don't want to, spend this or that. And she clearly needs a wig.
Yeah.
And I get it if the budget is not there. But, if it's just for like, I don't want to spend the money because I don't, when, obviously they're spending money on everything else. But when you got to think of how much money you're saving.
Right.
Okay, like I said, we were all in the salon before. Okay, I haven't been in the salon in 15 years. And what I was charging for a haircut 15 years ago, could have paid for a wig in 4 trips.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you are saving so much money that you could buy several wigs a year.
Definitely.
Look fresh, look new, and not have to go, so long.
Right.
Treat yourself.
I think I try to tell people, I'm like, think of it as, even if it's like every 3 to 4 months, you just get one, because the cost of that is going to be less. It's just.
Do you know what it costs these days for a haircut?
It's insane.
Crazy.
It's insane. So, yeah.
And no, let's not even talk about color.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go.
Forget that.
Because, I
Getting
don't
wig
have
is
any
way
highlights in my
cheaper.
own hair.
Getting wig is way cheaper.
But can we just talk about one aspect that we haven't touched on?
Okay.
Cost. My time is more valuable than all of that. I do not have time to go sit in a chair for 3 hours to get my hair cut and colored. I just don't have time for that.
Yeah.
My life's too busy.
Yeah. So
anyway.
All right.
Pay attention to your surroundings. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Ovens, heaters, and smoking.
Even smoking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, again, we have a client, and she always wondered why the front of this right here was like getting fried, and she's a smoker. I'm not saying stop smoking, which, I'm not. But she didn't ever. So if you're a smoker and you wonder, you have to pay attention to that too.
Yeah.
You have to pay attention to opening the oven door, to the dishwasher on a drying cycle.
Everything.
If you're out at a restaurant and you're sitting under a heater, if you're at the hibachi, there are so many things that you have to consider. If you're at the campfire, environment is a big thing.
Right.
So
Definitely.
just pay attention to your surroundings, because you don't want to ruin a wig. We keep it as an example out here, a client who had a little vanity light lamp in her extra bedroom, and that was her wig stand. And so she would just put her wig on that, every day. And she had done that for years. She bought a new wig on a Friday. She came back in on a Monday. It was fried from a light bulb.
So bad.
Okay?
And I saw somebody on Instagram not that long ago, and they had one of their wigs on a lamp, and I just wanted to say, please take that off. But I figured she knew it wasn't turned on. But I felt like she was really just taking a picture to show, but I was like, please take that off. You're making me nervous.
Look at what Maxine just wrote.
Yeah, she did say, and watch out for power windows with long hair.
And tree limbs.
And tree limbs.
Yes.
I had a lady that was riding a horse and whoop.
But if you had a wig grip on, that jerked you right off.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to number 22. Visit a wig salon if you can. So, Cindy, on YouTube, you just made this comment, what color is best for easy and integrate? I'm going to go ahead and recommend that you just come into a wig salon or the one closest to you, because I can't just say, oh, it's blonde. That's not the case. People think that's the case, and it's not. There's really not just a color I can say, this is the best color for easy and integrate.
Yeah, because it depends on how you're starting out. My hair is a medium ash brown.
Right.
So my easing into gray would be just going into something that's, a light brown with highlights.
Yeah.
Someone who has hair the color of Marcia's, which is darker than mine, might be,
even this color.
even that
because-
color.
Right.
Yeah.
Or, it's really...
And
That's really
on that, call the wig salon, whether it's us or anybody else, because most of them take appointments. And so
Yeah.
I always feel bad when people show up and I'm like, we cannot even squeeze you in today. I mean, call, book an appointment, so that way you have your designated time with a stylist to go over all that stuff.
Right.
Starly on TikTok is asking if we have short wigs. We have from the shortest to
Yeah.
the longest. We have lots and lots of wigs.
Mm-hmm.
So check us out, shopmimiesdallas.com.
All right, we're almost to the end. So 23, Misty, you take this one.
I love this one, okay, because has a special place in my heart. Join social groups. Do not be afraid to join a Facebook group. I think ours is the best. I'm a little bit biased. We have over 8,000 women. It's totally private. It's called Mimi's Wig Chicks VIP. If you're watching on TikTok and you haven't heard of us, check us out. It's totally private. You can go in there. You can spill your wig guts, okay, and know that you're not going to be judged. You're not ever going to be talked down to. If you are, we will boot everyone out that is mean to you. We have wonderful moderators, but you can get inspiration. You can get ideas. You can ask questions. I mean, we're not always available. We stay really
Not,
busy.
yeah.
There are max 5 of us at this place, okay? I know it may seem like we have a huge operation going
don't.
here. We don't. We're a small
just us.
salon and shop. So we can't always answer one-on-one questions. But I promise you, if someone in that group can, and if they can't, they'll contact us, and we'll get you the answers that you need.
Yes.
So join our group. I'm telling you, Colleen on Facebook is just attesting to that. She's like, she's been in the group 4 years. When we started it, we were so happy we made it to 100 women.
Right.
I mean, and I guarantee you, if you go on there and you say, for instance, does anybody have, I don't know, Jet and, lilac haze?
Can you
if
show a
someone
picture?
has it, they'll post a picture. And you know what? That is so much better than looking at a wig model or a catalog image, because you're seeing it on a real person.
Mm-hmm.
And, you'll see how they style it and how they put it on. Anyway,
Yes.
I said I'm passionate about that. I could spend a whole 30 minutes just talking about social media groups.
So number 24 is have confidence and wear what makes you happy. And I think going back to the whole social group thing, sometimes for people who are not feeling confident, when they join those, that's when they realize I am not alone. And oh my gosh, like they just are like, I have a whole bunch of people that are in the same boat as me. And then they get more confident and they're like, hey, look at this. Look at my new hair.
That's one reason why I always like for someone to wear the wig out. Like
Oh, me
come
too.
Yes.
to see us, because and we'll
Don't be
often
afraid to
say,
wear it out at the
Yeah,
salon.
go somewhere.
Drink some
Go-
coffee.
yeah.
Have lunch with a friend.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
just kind of
We
forget
have
that-
Marshalls down the sidewalk. So I always say, if you don't go anywhere, just put your wig on, go to Marshalls and shop around. Because
Yeah.
I guarantee you somebody will stop and say, where do you get your hair done?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because if you take your wig home in a box, it's that much harder for you to start wearing it if you're new to this whole process.
Right.
But all it takes is a few people to stop you and say, oh, you look great, until you're like, oh, I do, don't I?
Who does your hair?
Misty doesn't know that I'm about ready to say this, but I think it's going to open up the door here. So we've gone over some, tips and everything that y'all should know, but I think, you guys should definitely comment. If you haven't already, comment at the end of watching this, if you're watching it later, of other things that you'd like to know about, because that will open the door for us for future episodes. Don't you agree?
It totally
So-
does. And I'm glad you said that, because this was what I was supposed to say last week, and I completely forgot, because
Forgot.
I do that. I mean, my brain.
We get in here and we just space.
Well,
So-
I just have so many things going on. But listen, we're starting the year off right. We want to hear from you. If you go on our website and you see a site, if you see a site that we carry, if you see a style that we carry, you can absolutely request it. But you have to put it in the comments. You have to go to YouTube. So if
Yeah.
you're watching on TikTok, if you're watching on Instagram, if you're watching on Facebook, we're not going to pay attention to you. Just kidding.
Oh, God.
But we're not going to take requests. This is all about YouTube today. We'll
Oh.
do other things for Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. But
And
we're gonna-
Melissa,
we're
I got
gonna-
to interrupt you. Melissa, we are already on that. Help with heat styling, please.
Yes.
We have already talked about that as something that we're going to do again. because everybody struggles with that.
Yes. But we're taking requests. It's an all request hour next week, not a full hour, but an all request show next week from YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube only. So we'd love to know your requests, but you have to go over to this video on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So go over to YouTube. Mimi's Wig Boutique is what we are on YouTube. Find the video, go to the comments, and put the style and color you want to see. If we have it, we'll show it next week. Not all of them, obviously, but we're going to pick out a lot of them. Hopefully some that we don't show all the time, you know. So if you've been curious about them, put the style and the color. If we don't have the color, we'll show the style definitely. But it has to be in the comments of this YouTube video.
Yes.
So.
All right, lean in really quick because somebody on TikTok wants to see you
What?
two because
Oh,
they
like,
can see all of
where
us.
am I
See,
looking?
yes.
Oh.
So, but I just need to do
Snarky
that.
Mama.
I like that
name.
too. Yes. So thanks for joining us today. We do have a sale going, and it is going to be.
I love Janet. Janet says, as a longtime wig wearer, I can spot a wig wearer only because their hair
Their
looks
hair
fabulous.
looks fabulous.
Exactly.
Yes. So the sale today, Marcia, if you want to go
Woohoo,
announce
y'all.
it,
Guess what time it is?
it's sale time. I don't know.
Time for the sale of the week.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you do.
Okay, so it's 25% off of all the Tonya Beverly. And
Yes.
the code is Tony 2024.
And if you've never worn Tony of Beverly, it's a great fiber.
The fibers
So
are great.
yes,
I love it. It's my favorite fiber ever.
she has been like that for years. As long as I've known you working at the shop, that is her favorite.
I'm telling you, they are one of the, I say it all the time, I can't advocate for them enough. They are one of the oldest and most respectable wig companies out there for synthetic. Their quality is top quality. They have a patented
They feel
fiber.
really good.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
So, all right, we got to go.
Yeah,
We
thanks for
gotta go,
joining us, y'all.
Y'all have a wonderful week. Remember to go to YouTube, drop in the comments what you want us to show, and we'll take your requests, but only on YouTube.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Bye.